And we're back. All right. So I'm going to let some people hop on here, Joe, before we
Okay.
getting back into the questions, because everybody will have to undo it and redo it. So let's see how this goes this time. Hopefully I won't freeze up again. Let me see what it looks like here. I try to watch it as well, just to see what's going on. All right, that's better. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully people will catch on that I had some technical difficulties. Coming back now, we talked about your collecting focus, and I really want to I'm going to skip around a little bit from what we had talked about, what we were going to talk about, because I want some more people to be on. But what is your dream item, Joe? What would you say is your dream item?
In terms of, I think I'd have to say the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. In fact, I got to give credit to Snoop 12922 because he talked about this earlier in the week. I think there's a PSA 9
Yes.
52 Topps Mantle on Heritage Auctions that I think right now the bidding's at like around $1.8 million.
That's crazy.
And and I think the bidding ends on April 19th. But I saw a picture for Snoop put that up, and I saw a picture of that. Like obviously the 52 Topps Mantle, but that one in particular, that's going to go probably for $3 million. I'd have to go with that card as a dream. As a Yankee fan and just as a baseball collector, I think Ray from Philly has like one of the 10 greatest cards of all time, and that has to be on everyone's list, I would think.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's a PSA 9, so it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, PSA 9s are hard to come by in Mantles. I don't think one's come up for auction or for sale in a bunch of years. So this is going to kind of set a new standard, I think. It'll be really cool to see where that ends up. So if you could, we got a bunch of people joining us back. So what's kind of a collecting niche that you never kind of got started in but wish you had?
I guess the way that I'll answer this, because if there's a niche that I want to get into, I'll just get into it. But I wish I focused a little bit more on vintage. I sometimes fall into my vices, and I've mentioned this many times on my channel. That I've been preaching this to everybody, like don't buy packs, buy singles. And another thing that you guys know, I do the baseball crate, but that's kind of a fun thing that I do every month. But what I've fallen into, another vice that I've fallen into is prospecting. I just bought a Greg Bird auto, and that dude just keeps getting hurt. Like he's going to end up becoming the next Nick Johnson. And I don't know. Sometimes I wish I had kind of spent that money more wisely on something like vintage that I can rely on.
Right.
Whether it be vintage, but staying away from like spending a ton of money on packs and prospecting cards is basically I'm saying what niche I don't want to get into.
Right. Well, I feel the same way. I think buying, especially high end, like if you want to buy a box of Heritage or a box of Top Series 1, just to kind of get a feel for baseball season and kind of get into everything, I get that. But buying the high end boxes to me just seems absolutely silly. In fact, I watched a video today from KG Sports Cards. I don't know how many people saw it, but he opened a box of Topps Tribute. Did you know Topps Tribute came out this week?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Well, I have an idea. I have a challenge for you. Are you up for a challenge?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so here's my challenge. What's a box of Tribute run? What, around $250 to $300, right?
Yeah, probably.
So let's say $300. I tell you what, I bet you that you and I could take half the money that a box costs. We could each take $150 and buy Tribute cards of our PC players, our PC teams, just things that we are interested in for Tribute. And I bet we can do better than any box that you could open on the street. What do you think?
Oh, snap. You just brought it to like everybody in the community.
I did. So I bet I would love to challenge somebody out there to open a box of Tribute live on YouTube, where you open the box and show us what you pull, and I'll bet you that Joe and I can both, between us, get way better cards than you can pull out of a box. And I hear all the time about the thrill of opening boxes. Like, there's the thrill of that. And quite frankly, Joe, for me, it's the thrill of hunting for cards on eBay and looking for cards that I want out of a product that I like. That's just as fun to me.
Yep.
And I don't get kicked in the nuts 9 times out of 10 like you do opening a box of cards, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right. Short term, it's it's always fun to gamble. It's the same reason why you go to Atlantic City and you throw a bunch of money down and you're happy that you only lost $200. But at the end of the day, I guess usually, of course, now that we say that, Mike, the guy that if somebody goes against us, they'll call some ridiculous super fract.
Well,
but
I saw it again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how your luck has been, Mike, with opening packs.
Not good.
Whenever I do it, I always end up being like, why did I just spend like $300 on a box of Tribute, and all I got was like, a Corey Kluber patch or something like that. So,
exactly.
Well, I probably could have picked a better.
Well, when KG Sports Card,
I don't know why I picked on that.
he opened his box today, and I swear he only got maybe $50 worth of cards. And so, and that happens again. It's not that you can pull a Koufax, or you could pull a Trout auto or a Judge or whatever.
Right.
Well, okay, but what about the other 95% of the time? And so that's the challenge, Joe. We can buy as many cards as we want out of 2018 Tribute, and we'll do it. Well, I tell you what, we'll do it for a month. Today's April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's joke, by the way, even though it's April 1st. And we'll go till May 1st, and then on May 1st, you and I each have to do videos where we show our haul from our $150. Okay?
Sounds good, man.
All right, and we'll challenge anybody out there. And I tell you what do they get if they win the challenge? Like, if they actually beat us, which I'm not terribly confident they will, but what can they get? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, I'd be willing to give whatever card they want.
All right.
The ones that I buy. Like,
fair enough.
Whatever card, you can pick that out, and I'll send it to you your way, along with a silver Jackify custom card.
Mike O says he wants the Babe Ruth Gem Mint 10 auto. That is not on the table for this challenge, but I'll do the same thing. If you can if you can get a box and you have better cards than what Joe and I get over the next month, then I'll give you my best card, or you can choose whichever card that I have bought over the last month for my $150 in Tribute. You can have it if you beat us, and Joe will do the same. We'll each send you custom signed cards, and that'll be a cool challenge. So let's move on a little bit. Who's a current or former player that you would love to have a beer with?
Yeah, I mean, like, the first guy that comes to mind is Rube Waddell, but although I probably have a beer with him, he'd probably go run off after he heard, like, a fire truck. So I probably wouldn't do it with him. I don't know, I'd probably pick Babe Ruth, just because he was, I mean, how cool would it be to sit down with someone like him? He has the history of being with the Red Sox, with the Yankees. He has experience as a pitcher and a hitter, and the guy could party.
For sure.
I I read a story a while back about it was like a Saturday night at Chicago, and the White Sox players took him out drinking, and then and he stayed up all night with the players. The next day he went to the stadium and had a fantastic day, destroyed the White Sox players, and then after the game was over was like, "Where are we going out tonight, guys?" So the dude was nuts. I mean, I could just imagine just hanging out with the guy and having a beer with him would definitely be a hell of an experience.
That would be very fun. So how many different ballparks have you been to? Have you been to quite a few, or not really, or what?
No. I'm like I said, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. Like, I've become more of a baseball fan over the years. I've started to appreciate, players from other teams. But I'm just happy, for the most part, watching the game on TV or going to the Bronx. And a lot of people, there's this false kind of idea that all the Yankee games, like if you want to go to a game, it's going to cost you $1,000. But I can go to a game for like $10 and sit in the bleachers and be totally content. But that is something I'd like to take advantage of more, is seeing other stadiums
for sure,
especially friendly.
So I happen to have a picture of you that you sent me. This is you at Wrigley. What'd you think of Wrigley?
Wrigley was it was a really nice stadium. It's actually a lot of fun outside of Wrigley. I went to a wedding, and Saturday night there was the bride and groom. It was the wedding, and then Sunday it was like a 1:00 game, and I remember the bride and groom were totally hungover, and I don't think most of the people that were at the stadium that day were probably would rather be doing something else. But that was actually the game that you just showed, Mike. Was Cole Hamels ended up throwing a no-hitter at that game. So it was just totally random,
right?
For Cole Hamels to throw a no-hitter and beat the Cubs, who were a really good team at that time. So it was a fun experience. My only trip to Wrigley, by the way.
Well, that's a good game. That was like his last outing before he got traded to the Rangers at the trade deadline a few years ago. I remember that. That was very cool.
Exactly. Yep.
Here's another piece of crap stadium you've been to. Let's see if everybody can see that one. Dang Yankee Stadium. I have to tell you, you're holding Sophia there, and she looks adorable. But I've been there, and it is, to me, I hate the Yankees. I'll just say it, but I respect them. I respect the franchise, and I have a lot of respect for baseball history. And when I went to that stadium, I walked in and I went, "Yep, this is how it's supposed to be done." And shout out to Cameron Conley. He's saying, "Say my name." So I really. Cameron. I really walked in there and I went, wow, this place is impressive. And it's kind of like here, where Jerry World, where the Cowboys play. You can hate the Cowboys, but people walk in and go, wow, that's a really cool place. And it's done right. It's a cool stadium, and I feel that way about Yankee Stadium. I went to old Yankee Stadium one time too. Been to New Yankee, I don't know, 5 or 6 times total probably. And it's beautiful. So I have to tell you.
A lot of people, some people don't like it. I understand that. A lot of people love the old Yankee Stadium. I like it. They're over in right field. There's a bad view because it's the Mohegan Sun Bar kind of juts out. So a lot of people complain about that, and of course that the seats are too expensive, and they have like sushi, which a lot of people don't think should be allowed at a stadium. Which I understand all those arguments, but at the end of the day, it's a really nice stadium.
It is. Okay, guys. So as we're going here tonight, make sure you're sending me questions on the comments of questions you want for me to ask Joe during the audience participation section. Keep doing that as we keep going. But Joe, next question for you is, how did you kind of get started on YouTube?
So I did my first video back in I believe 2014, July of 2014.
Okay.
When I did my first, if you go way back to my first video, my first 2 videos were actually me playing the guitar. And I think I sang Rebecca Black, Friday by Rebecca Black, and then I did one of my own custom songs.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Come on.
It's pretty bad. I left it. If you want to see it, it's still on there. It's only got like 100 views or something like that. But I started to get back into collecting. Like I'd always been collecting, but I started really getting back into it because I picked up the 1939 Play Ball DiMaggio card. And I don't know, I just started randomly. The one guy that I remember really watching was Foo 3112. He had some really good videos, and I remember just listening to the videos like on the way to work, like listening to them, not even like watching the cards. And I was like, why would anybody do this? This is so silly, you know? And then I was like, you know what? And then I started to like it the more I watched it. And then, I don't know, I just did my own video, top 50 baseball cards in my collection. And I don't know, like, it was so random that people actually were watching it. And it was like, and I remember saying to my wife, like, nobody collects anymore. I'm like the last of the dinosaurs that collect. And then, sure enough, not only was I not the only collector, but there was so many people out there that love the hobby as much as I do. And it's been, these last couple of years have been just totally awesome. And it's been like taken off even more so over the last year or so. So
yeah, you've had,
anyway.
People love your top 50 videos, top 50 cards of all time, all that kind of, I mean, people just love those, and for good reason. You do a great job on that. Where did your YouTube,
Thanks,
where does Silver Jackify come from? Where does that name originate?
So, Silver Jackify, obviously, it has nothing to do with baseball. Like I said, when I first came on, I wasn't thinking about, at baseball card videos at all. Me and my brother, we did these full-length cartoons. Like, he's a graphic designer.
Okay.
And I actually wrote cartoons, and then did the voices for cartoons that he animated. And one of the characters, it's just to give you an idea of what these cartoons were. They were like sort of like South Park, Monty Python type of cartoons that didn't make any sense.
Okay.
And the main character, his grandfather was this guy named Silver Jack. And all my buddies, like I play it for some people, and most people were like, dude, this is so weird. Like, they didn't get it. But the people that did like it, their favorite character, without a doubt, was the main character's grandfather named Silver Jack, who was just this guy that was like out of control, just would party, and I don't know. He was like kind of a pain in the butt to the main character. And anyway, so that's where the handle name comes from. And if anybody's listening and wants a copy of the cartoon, I'd be glad to send it to anybody that's willing to spend a half hour watching these weird-ass cartoons.
I have seen it, I have to tell you. And I'll just leave it at that. I've seen it.
Your reaction is pretty much what most people's reaction to it is. So.
Well, so again, you've been part of the YouTube community for a while, and you've been getting involved a lot more recently, and that's really cool. You did a great contest not too long ago for the Mike Trout rookie, just doing some great stuff for the community. Are there any other YouTubers that you kind of look up to and want to emulate their channels? Who else do you like out there?
I don't want to get into, I listed, like, your contest was awesome, the Hall of Fame contest. I listed 10 Hall of Famers that I voted for. And so, I won't get into all that. But I guess the way I wanted to maybe just answer this question is, like, the way that I've sort of learned to do my videos is based off of the radio personalities I listened to growing up. So, like Mike and the Mad Dog, Howard Stern,
right.
And I try to do, when I do my content, I actually emulate them, to be honest with you. And like the two things that I've learned from those two personalities, and something that I feel a lot of people relate to, is that number one, they have the ability to kind of keep the show going and keep the show interesting. And number two, just being brutally honest. And like, that was one thing that I've learned from Howard. He has this ability to kind of say, he's not afraid to be like, I am the greatest radio personality. Like, he's not afraid to talk about how great he is about himself, but he's also not afraid to be honest about, like he'll talk about how ugly he is, and he's not afraid to be hard on himself. And I've tried to do that, and you guys may have seen, like, I did the dumbest mistakes I've made in my collecting. Like, I try to be honest with the people that are watching, so hopefully that's come across. And I try to keep my videos interesting. Like, I spend a lot of time making quality videos. So that's really, that's where my biggest impact has come from. Listening. I mean, I've listened to Mike and the Bad Dog for 15 years now, and I try to use some of their success to, when I'm making my videos. So.
Well, I've heard Mike and the Mad Dog before. It is totally, I hate it. It's so funny, but I get why he is liked in New York. But
Yep.
So I saw the video, and speaking of being brutally honest, the video that you did when you were at the White Plains show and you were expecting someone to come up and hey, are you Silver Jackify? And no one did, and you were all butthurt about it, and it just cracked me up. I was like, that would be me, totally being that way. So I
feel people like if you're just honest with the people that watch your videos, and but it's okay to like if you have a Ruth Auto, a Gem in 10, like you can talk smack,
Right.
That is the ultimate, and you have every right to be like, hey, I have this, and that's awesome.
If only somebody had.
Cool.
If only somebody here had one.
Exactly.
All right. And sorry if I'm cutting you off, buddy, but are there any new YouTubers that you're kind of watching?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I'll fully admit is that there are guys that that are out there that really do a fantastic job in connecting with the community, and I admit that I can do a better job of that. I wrote down a couple of names that So Snoop 12922, who I mentioned earlier, his latest videos are absolutely fantastic. If you guys haven't checked them out, Jeter02, he's a guy. I did a 10 cards under $30, and he basically picked up every single card that I listed in that video, and I thought that was awesome. A League of Their Own, like you brought me to. So her videos are unbelievable, and I just want to say right now that if we can get a girl in the Hall of Fame for 2019, that would be awesome. Card Hounds, who I'm a huge fan of. Dustin Abraham, father-son duo, and Yankees Cards, my boy Jerome. Those are just some names that I wrote down. But I know that there's a ton more out there, and everyone's doing a fantastic job. I can't even keep up with it. That's just how much content is out there. But it's awesome. It's a great time to be in the community, and so that's what I have for that, Mike.
I totally agree. And there is, I don't know, I think we're kind of in this wonderful period where so many people are making such great content, and I love it. I mean, I love coming home and having a watch list full of people that I want to see what they've got that week, or what they're, especially Caitlin, League of Their Own. She's just killing it in terms of the quality of what she's doing and how she's doing. I just think it's great. But all right, so that's kind of the cardboard section. You ready to move on to kind of some beyond cardboard questions? That's what the name of the show is, and that's what people want to hear about you, Joe, is they want to learn more about you beyond cardboard. They already know what you collect. They already know.
I'm not sure about that, but I'll answer.
Well, you ready? So where did you grow up?
So I'm a New Jersey boy, through and through. Grew up in New Jersey. I went to Penn State for college. That was my only time outside of New Jersey. I lived in D.C. for about a year or two, and then I realized that I was incredibly homesick, and then moved right back to New Jersey again. But New Jersey guy, grew up in Morris County, now live in Bergen County, and so that's basically it. I've lived in New Jersey pretty much my whole life.
Oh, awesome. What do you do for a living? Mark from Kentucky. That's one of my normal questions, but Mark from Kentucky also wanted to know that too. So what do you do every day?
I guess a business analyst. I've been in the financial services industry for about 11 or 12 years now.
Okay.
And most of the stuff that I do is it's quote unquote project management. It's actually a great place to get into because everyone needs a project manager, and I get the beauty of having that on my resume is I can pretty much take on a job anywhere from human resources to billing to finance. They all need projects. They need somebody to kind of come in, understand the processes that that they struggle with, and then come up with a solution. And that's what I've been doing. Honestly, that's what I've been doing now for since I graduated from college in 2001. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I graduated from college in 2001, got a little bit into being a financial advisor, and realized that I couldn't stand making cold calls all day.
Right.
I don't know how people do it. I was making cold calls 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then on Saturdays making cold calls, and did that for about 6 months. Then got into a little bit of education, and then ended up kind of doing what I've been doing for the last 10 to 15 years.
Well, that's ironic. Do you know what I do for a living? I'm a financial advisor.
I do not.
I'm a financial advisor.
Oh, nice.
And have been for 20 years. So that's all I've ever done.
The beauty of if you the idea, of course, is that you do cold calling in the beginning, and then once you've earned up enough client base, you can live off of referrals.
Huh.
But I don't know if you're at that point or not.
How else do you think I can afford a Babe Ruth Gem Mint 10 auto?
Understood.
But this isn't about me. This is about you, Joe. So, are you married? Tell me about your wife.
Yeah. So we got me and my wife. We've been married since 2009. We actually got married a couple of days after the Yankees won the World Series. So worked out pretty nicely for me. And as I mentioned before, I went to Penn State. And as you can imagine, a lot of my friends from college are from Philly,
right,
and Pittsburgh. And the Yankees, of course, were playing the Phillies in the World Series. And I've never in my life prayed harder to God that the Yankees would pull this out, because I was like, I won't even be able to enjoy my wedding if all my college buddies are talking smack with me, the entire wedding. So the Yankees pulled it out, and but my wife and I have been married since 2009. So.
Who are all these yahoos in this picture here? Good grief.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the picture to come up.
Is that Becky in the middle? I take it. Look at you, all young.
Yep, I know. Look at me. We got the perfect day. As you can see, that's not Photoshop. That was the actual sunset.
Where'd you get married? That's pretty.
It's Chesapeake Bay Bridge.
Okay.
We're in Maryland. So it's got there's we took a couple of pictures with the bridge over in the sunset, but my wife is from Maryland, so she wanted to. She moved to New Jersey for me, so the least I could do was have the wedding in Maryland.
I gotcha. Who is this? Who are these people in this ski picture?
Oh, this was just a couple of weeks ago, actually. That's that's actually my brother. Let me see. There we go. That is my brother and his wife, and one of my friends from high school.
Very cool. So, you have one daughter. Her name is Sophia. Some of us have seen her in your video. She's adorable. Did she have a good Easter? She's 5, right?
Yeah, she's 5. She's going to turn 6 in August.
Look at that. And how cute. How many Easter baskets did she get? Good grief.
I know. She's gone on 5 or 6 Easter egg hunts over the last 2 weeks, and she's at that age now where she's just going after it. Like, I told her, I was like, you got to get that special egg, and she really went after it. She actually ended up getting the grand prize. Well, we were in Atlantic City about 2 weeks ago.
I love her Olaf hat that she wears all the time.
Yeah,
Isn't
There
it?
she is, yeah.
She's cute. That's awesome, man. Family's so important. What does Becky think about your collecting and YouTube and all that kind of stuff?
She thinks I'm insane.
She, she's probably like,
She thinks I'm insane. She doesn't understand why anybody would like, she's like, you're going on an interview tonight? Like, what's going on? Like, she's like, I'm like, an interview. And she's like, for work? Like, are you looking for a new job? I'm like, no, I'm getting interviewed on baseball cards. And she's like, okay, I'm going to bed.
that sounds crazy, she's thinking. So, tell me, do you have any like secret talents or kind of what's an interesting thing about you that people won't know?
Well, I'm pretty good at talking like Mickey Mouse.
Like Mickey Mouse.
If you guys want to hear it.
Well, I'm sure.
See if anybody in the chat wants to see me talk like Mickey Mouse.
I'm sure they want to hear you talk like Mickey Mouse. I mean, really, who wouldn't? Why don't you say the Yankees are going to lose 100 games this year in Mickey Mouse voice?
Hi, pal. It's me, Mickey Mouse. The Yankees are going to win 100 games this year. Isn't that great? Wait, hi, Mike. Do you want to join my clubhouse?
That's fantastic, Mickey.
Hold on. Hold on. Elmo wants to say something. Hi, Mike. How are you today?
I'm great, Elmo.
Is you going good? Do you want me to put Joe on the line?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to start crying. Oh my gosh.
The weird thing is if you do Elmo and you do if you take it a little too far, you start sounding like Smeagol.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
like,
My precious.
Oh, that precious. It's almost like if you do. If you take Elmo too far, you start talking like Smeagol. So you have to be careful about that.
Well, that is impressive. Everybody on the chat's going nuts. They think you're hilarious. Any more? Do you want me to move on, or do you got some more?
No, that's probably good for now. I spend a lot of time with the 5-year-old, and we do, and she gets she's right in there when she thinks she's talking to Mickey Mouse. So I've had a lot of practice.
Too funny. All right, so I gotta compose myself here. What sports did you play when you were younger?
I don't know how to recover from that.
I know, right?
I was the one thing that I was good at was running. So I did cross country, I did track. Well, I did outdoor track, I did indoor track. The one interesting fact about me about that is one time I was in if you've ever been to a meet, what you do is you get matched up with another school,
right?
And I was the only miler on my team, and one of the schools that we went up against didn't have a miler, so I ended up I did the entire mile backwards. I ran it. I actually started off the race, and then I just turned around and ran all 4 laps around the track backwards. And you can imagine, I'll never forget it, my coach was so mad at me for doing that. But that's what that was what I was good at when I was younger. I was good at running, so that's what I did.
Dude, I hate running. No, thank you. I even hate
no way, I would have never guessed.
I hate walking, and I play golf a lot, and I'm going to have it on I've never walked around in my life, and I'm going to have it on my headstone. He never had to walk around because I don't want to ever walk. Let's see. Did you have any other hobbies growing up when you were in Jersey?
You know what? Growing up, I was big into music. I always loved. That's why I tried to play the guitar and sing. I wasn't, I was never really a great guitar player. I was never really a great singer, but I sang anyway. So I collected a lot of music growing up. I was really into punk and ska. That was my thing.
Interesting.
So yeah, I didn't really, I collected Garbage Pail Kids when I was younger, but
all right.
Other than that, nothing really else.
What was the first concert you ever went to?
First concert, Green Day.
Green Day.
The first concert I ever went to. Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah. It's pretty random.
That is random. Mine's really random. Mine was The Cult. Do you remember The Cult? Firewoman? Do you remember?
Kinda.
Well, I'm not going to sing it for you, but that's who I saw in my first concert.
Oh, come on.
No, not going to happen. I'm the host. I get to decide, and I'm not going to sing for you. Do you have any hobbies now besides cards?
I'm big into fantasy football. I think I was in 5 leagues in fantasy football, and right now I'm in 4 fantasy baseball leagues.
Holy crap.
Last Sunday night I drafted, and then I drafted Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I had a draft 4 days in a row. And I tried doing a video about it. I did a video on YouTube about how you can win in fantasy baseball, and nobody watched it. I did a lot of research for it too. I remember I did the video, and I was like, that was a great video. And then I posted it, and I was like, it's gonna get so many views, and it had 100 views.
Like nobody cared. Nobody cared about your opinion.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I was like, and it's too bad because I've been really successful. I've paid for a lot of my baseball cards with my fantasy winnings, and but nobody cared. I posted the video, and I think it's one of the worst videos I've ever posted in terms of viewership.
That's funny. All right, last Beyond Cardboard question, then we're going to move on to the audience questions. If you could walk around with a theme song playing in the background, what song would that be? What would yours be?
It would probably be Epic Giveaway, Epic Giveaway, Epic Giveaway, try anything, Epic Giveaway, Silver Jackify. That's what it would be.
The little ditties, man, those are great. It's funny that nobody else does that and copies you on that. I wonder why.
I know.
Joe. I wonder why, Joe. I wonder why nobody copies that.
I'm a pioneer that nobody follows.
A pioneer all by yourself.
Right, all by myself. I'm traveling in one direction by myself.
Honestly, I actually like it. I think it's kind of cool. I just don't know how to do it. And nobody wants to steal your shtick. That's kind of your deal. And
yeah,
so
that's true. I mean, if somebody just started doing ditties before their videos, I'd be like, come on, man.
Right, that's my deal.
Something original.
All right, so I got a lot of great questions I've been frantically writing from the audience. Unfortunately, I can't write all of the names of people asking the questions, so I'm just going to kind of go through these. Are you going to go to the National this year?
Yes, I will be there. I'm so glad that somebody asked that question. I will be there, and just to throw this out there, right now, I'm probably traveling by myself to Cleveland. So if anybody in the community is, from New Jersey, and let me know if you guys how you're getting there. If you're flying there, if you're driving. I've been kind of back and forth as to whether I want to drive or fly. So, but I will be there regardless. I think it's the perfect opportunity for a lot of us to get together finally. And hang out and hopefully some of you guys will want to have a beer with me. And, my dream is to have a beer with Babe Ruth. Maybe I can make some of your dreams come true and you can have a beer with me.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to have a beer with you. What days are you going to be there?
I don't, I'll definitely be there on Saturday. Beyond that, I don't want to commit to anything but I'll definitely be there on Saturday.
See, that kind of sucks because I'm going to be there Wednesday through Friday. So.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll be there on Friday.
Damn right.
Whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely. If you say that you're only going to be there Wednesday to Friday, I can get the days off.
There you go. Well, I think everybody would want to spend more time with you, Joe. So. And
right.
I bet you somebody at the National, so you're not butthurt, will come up and say, "Are you Silver Jackify? Can I have your autograph?" And Hey,
I hope somebody does that, because I'm going to feel pretty pathetic. I go through the whole national and not a single person wants my autograph.
you should bring just a bunch of your custom cards and just hand them out, or sit at a table randomly and say, "Hey, come meet world famous Silver Jackify."
Right. I'll be sitting next to like Nolan Ryan.
Right.
Who wants
Come,
who wants that Silver Jackify custom card?
how about they on the TriStar, autograph pavilion? Come meet Silver Jackify, and it's like crickets. It's like nobody. Who the hell is that?
Maybe if I right. Maybe if I play the epic giveaway song, somebody might show up.
They might hear you. So these are all kind of random, so they're not really kind of a line of questioning. It's more of random questions that people have been asking. What's your favorite snack while you watch sports?
Wow. Favorite snack? Well, I'm big into the Ritz crackers and the Cheese Whiz.
Okay.
That's always been like a weird thing that I've been into. Like, I've always had that. But my favorite food, like if I could have any, it would be buffalo wings. Like I'm a buffalo wings, and shout out to baseball card junkies, Taco Bell. I love me some Taco Bell.
That was pretty cool the other day when they did that live at Taco Bell. Because everybody always gives them crap about it, and it was funny. I had eaten Taco Bell that night for dinner, and they were live there. It was funny.
That's awesome.
Somebody asked a question about, and I don't know this story, so you're going to have to tell me, but some type of Sandlot moment that you had with a Hank Aaron autograph or something?
Oh, yeah. So it's on my biggest mistakes I've ever made video. It was number 1.
Okay.
Me. So I had a Hank Aaron signed baseball, and I had it in my room, and me and my buddies, I had a bunch of buddies over my house, and I had a really nice backyard for throwing the ball around, and we could not find a ball to play catch with, and that's all we wanted to do was play catch. And I'm looking all over the house, and I found the Hank Aaron signed baseball. And and I go, well, we'll throw this around a little bit. We won't bang it up too much. But you know how when you're a teenager, you just kind of you throw it, and then you go further out, and then you're doing divers. And, and next thing I know, somebody threw it into the woods, and we searched all over for the Hank Aaron signed baseball. We could not find it. And to this day, that ball is still sitting in my parents' in the woods somewhere, because we never found it.
Wow. So
that's pretty dumb, right?
That's pretty dumb. And Totterball asked that question. He's a new guy on YouTube. He's been doing a couple of good videos. I watched him. Here's a question from Pepino Man. Are you ready?
Oh, no. I don't know if I'm ready.
Okay. Do you know how to two-step or line dance?
No, but I am a really good dancer.
Oh, really?
If you guys so if we go to the National and there's an opportunity to dance, I'll wipe the floor with anybody that wants to compete against me. I'll bring it right now. I don't care.
That maybe we should do a YouTube Olympics at the National and have because I'm going to play golf with a few guys, with John, JMVP, and maybe Jay McGillicuddy. If he gets down to the National, he'll go play golf with me. Hint, hint, Jay. But we could have a YouTube Olympics. That would be so epically pathetic that I think it would be. And we could have a dance contest as part of that. God help us. God help whoever's watching that, I would say. All right, last question from the audience that I'm going to ask you is, do you still dabble in music? You said you were into music when you were a kid. Do you still do that at all?
I've written a lot of songs. I've probably written 30, 40 songs from, the last 20 years. I was in a band for a while. At one point we won Battle of the Bands. That was the highlight of my musical career.
Nice.
But but like I always relied on my brother. My brother was like, my brother was so good at the guitar, and then I had another friend that was like insane on the drums. And like, if you do like punk rock or rock in general, you don't need to be a great singer. You know, like that's all I did was I sang. So, but it's been a while. Like my brother kind of put the guitar down, and that's why I started like picking the guitar up, because I was like, well, the only way that I'm going to be able to play, like, at a bar, at one of those bars where you could just kind of pick up a guitar and play, is to like bring my own guitar.
Right.
But I realized I really stink at playing the guitar. So I could play like the main chord. I could play the C, the G, the E, the D, like the major chords, and that's basically it. The amazing thing is you can play thousands of songs with just 4 chords.
Right.
So yeah.
Can you play Stairway to Heaven? I guess that's.
No, I can't. But I don't. Maybe I could probably learn it.
What movie did they have? What movie did they have a sign that says "No Stairway"?
No Stairway.
Who knows that trivia question? What movie did they have a sign that said "No Stairway"? Because he was going to buy a guitar. The character was, and we'll see if anybody gets that, and I'll tell you in a minute what the answer is. Bowman 53 just got it. It's Wayne's World is the name of the movie. All right. We are ready, Mr. Joe, to move on to rapid fire. Here we go. Are you ready?
When you do that, you should have like a song or something.
I should, except we're live and I can't insert like fun, I can't do a ditty.
I know.
Right now.
I know. We're technology challenged on this show.
For sure. Sorry. All right, here we go with some rapid fire questions. All right. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Extra cheese.
Extra cheese?
Yeah.
That's not a topping. It's already on the pizza. Just more of it.
Well, you're saying if you're only offering one topping, I'm just going to take extra cheese.
Are you New York style or Chicago style?
Oh, come on. New York style.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Favorite vanilla.
God, you're the most... Okay, extra cheese and vanilla. That's what I get from you. Oh my gosh. On your hot dog.
I like Taco Bell.
And Taco Bell.
My palate isn't that.
Oh my gosh. On your hot dog, do you like mustard or ketchup?
Mustard.
Good. That's the correct answer, by the way. Anybody that says ketchup
All right, good.
Should be kicked out of the country. All right. How do you drink your coffee? Do you use creamer or black?
It depends on my mood. Sorry, I don't want sometimes I like the creamer. Sometimes I like to just go black.
Okay. Interesting. I already.
Yeah.
One of my questions is, are you a good dancer? And you already answered that. So yes.
Oh yeah. The answer is yes. What's
your favorite board game?
Favorite board game? Probably Monopoly.
Perfect. I agree. What's your favorite baseball movie?
Major League.
All right. The first one?
Although A League of Their Own is a fantastic movie, and so is Field of Dreams. So, man. But I think if I had to choose one, I'll go with Major League.
All right. What's your favorite movie franchise?
Favorite movie, Star Wars.
Perfect. Now you're getting back in my good graces here. All right. What's your favorite sport to play?
Skiing. I love to ski.
Me too.
Skiing is there's nothing like, it's the most expensively ridiculous. It's very expensive sport, but there's nothing more fantastic than going to the top of the mountain and just for like 10 minutes just flying down the hill. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience.
I totally agree. It's so much fun. What's your favorite sport to watch?
Baseball. Baseball's my favorite.
So much for rapid fire. What was your first car? Your first car?
My first car was an '88 Nissan Sentra.
I bet that attracted the ladies. I'm telling you, an '88 Nissan Sentra.
The ladies love the '88 Sentra.
And Who's your celebrity crush? Like, do you have a celebrity crush?
Probably Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know why. I love J-Law. It makes sense. I'm J-Lo, so that's J-Law.
Jennifer Lawrence. That was the curveball question because you're supposed to say my wife Becky, but that's all right. She won't watch this, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
So that's the end of Rapid Fire, Joe. Man, I really appreciate you being on the show tonight. It was great. I hope everybody out there had a fun time watching us. Tune in next week. I'm actually going to have Nolan, who is also known as Elite Code 3, is going to be on the show next Sunday. And I'm going to do it at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Thanks, Joe, for screwing me up this week. All good.
That's what I do, man.
All good. So, again, I appreciate everybody watching. Like the video if you haven't. Subscribe to me if you haven't. I'd love to have you as part of this community and keep watching next week. And I'm going to let Joe, because I love his send-off. Joe, take it away and send everybody out of here.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's video. I'll talk to you later.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.